So when you own rental property, you have to decide if you're going to hire a property manager or not. For the past 16 years, I've managed my own rental properties and I've never had an issue doing it myself. But one multifamily property that we have has been managed by a property manager because it's a unique rental property where you're actually required to have a property manager unless you're a licensed real estate agent, which I am. So technically, I could self manage this property, but I've decided not to for various reasons. And for the most part, I'm really happy with that decision. So, about 7 months ago, I bought another rental property that has had long term tenants in place for a really long time. And I decided I would just skip on hiring a property manager for that one, even though it's a little bit more than an hour away. Well, one of the long term tenants moved out, so for the past 2 months, I've had an empty unit, which has left me questioning if I should have just hired a property manager after all. I mean, I really don't want to deal with it anymore. It's been 2 months, I'm over it, but I have to, and here's why it's taking me so long. First of all, the tenant moved out in mid-December, probably the single worst time of year to have a tenant move out. It's already hard to find handyman and painters as it is, but with it going empty just weeks before a Christmas holiday break and kids being home, everyone is starting their own vacations at that time. So it was nearly impossible to find anybody to paint it or do any kind of work on it at all. And since there was no way that I was going to pay $30,000, that was the estimate I got for an interior remodel from somebody. I think I mentioned it in another video. I had to find another way. And well, I got lucky because we suddenly had this really bad rainstorm, and my guy that I usually use for painting, he had to postpone all of his exterior paint jobs that he had scheduled. So I got lucky that he was available to paint the whole interior on short notice. So then I started making a list of all the little things that needed to be fixed. The blinds that needed to be replaced, the light switches that needed to be replaced, the light bulbs that were out, the smoke detectors, things like that. I thought I'd just spend a day over there myself and do it. And the list became insanely long. And then I realized it just wasn't the best use of my time to be doing all this myself. And honestly, I'm not fast at it. It's yeah, I can do these things, but it's still going to take me a really long time. So another agent I know recommended his handyman to me, and I decided that I was going to use him. And of course, I don't think he was available till after the holidays, which was fine because I still had to get the carpet replaced and I needed to call Home Depot to come out and do a measuring for carpets. And they told me that once I picked out the carpets, that they could get it installed in 4 to 5 days. And I thought, wow, that is really quick. And I was really, really happy to hear how fast they could get it in because, well, I was in no rush to pick the carpet, right? Because they could get it done so fast. So the handyman started on all of my long list of fixes. And when I was ready for the carpet, I went to Home Depot to order it. Well, it turned out it wasn't that short of a time for install. It actually was 3 to 4 weeks on the installation, and I was not happy. That's not what they told me when I spoke to them on the phone. Another not so fun fact was that I couldn't just go to any Home Depot to order the carpet. I had to go in person to the local Home Depot that was local to the property, which meant that I had to drive about 70 miles each way just to order the carpet. Yeah, I was not thrilled about that. So meanwhile, while waiting for the carpet, the handyman got some extra things taken care of also. And once the carpet was in, I advertised it for rent. So at this point, I'm about 2 months into having a vacant unit, not thrilled with driving back and forth, and really seeing the value in having a property manager now. The truth is, on my managed property, the property manager turns over those rental units in about a week to 10 days. And usually a new tenant is in place in less than 10 days. And I never even have to set foot there at all. So that's a whole other thing. I need to reconsider the property management. Anyway, I finally got to the point of posting the unit for rent and I scheduled appointments for all in the same day to view it. I had 16 scheduled appointments. Can you believe only 6 of them showed up? 6! And out of the 6, only 2 people applied, and then one extra random person who actually never showed up applied, but didn't actually give me any information on the application. So it wasn't even enough information to evaluate them. I'm not sure why they sent the application at all. Maybe they just made a mistake. I'm not really sure. Anyway, I want to add that it's actually really hard to deny an applicant, but there has to be some minimum requirements to go by. And if they don't meet those minimums, they just don't meet it. So I'll be scheduling another open house showing soon and hoping that a tenant who does meet those minimum qualifications does apply. Besides, I accidentally left my vacuum at the property and now I need to go pick it up. I'm also just kind of over it and really, really close to handing it off to a property manager to deal with. It didn't help that over the last 2 months since I've been trying to get this done, that I've been already really busy with real estate agent work. And one of my other properties also has had some problems, had a water heater go out. And that was a whole other deal that I'm still dealing with, in fact, because it's kind of a funny story. The tenant texted me the night that the new water heater got installed to tell me that the garage was flooding with water. Turned out that the plumber screwed right into the water line inside the wall when he put the water heater strap on. So the fun never ends. I still have to deal with getting that dried out and making sure that the water in the walls isn't still there. Anyway, that's another issue. So here's a question for you. How far is too far to self-manage a rental property? Is it 50 miles? 100 miles? I'd say that this particular property is about 60 miles away, but the last time I was there, it took me almost 3 hours to get home because a major accident happened on the freeway just ahead of me. So let me know in the comments below, what is the furthest distance you'd consider self-managing a rental property? If you like talking about real estate and real estate investing, help my channel grow by hitting the like button and subscribing to my channel. And don't forget to watch another video because that really helps me out too.